that being said, we definitely have a lot of high-level items and things to go over with this, which I'll be happy to give a high-level summary of the budget amendments. And then if you have any specific questions, I can answer them that time, because there is, some significant variable changes in the budget that I'd like to go over with the council, if that's okay. And then if you have specific questions, I'll be happy to answer them, or the mayor may be able to answer them, or the department may be able to answer them. So that's what this is where we're at in the budget cycle. So we typically, I don't like budget amendments. I like things to go as planned, but they happen, and like I said, we usually do one large one in December, and then we usually do another large one if it's mandated during the budget process for that. So, and then we have little ones, like if someone has an item that wasn't in the original budget, then we will do a budget amendment at that meeting to cover that specific item. So.
Mr. Chair? So like if we're at a certain point in time, and you're not over budget, then it, because you still have, 6 months left or 5 months left, so it wouldn't necessarily have to be here unless you're over budget, right? Are there some things that are your over budget right now that aren't listed here?
Not that I'm aware of, not saying that there isn't, but to the extent of, we're not going to wait to the department's over budget to do this. Once we know and have a good estimate of where the numbers are going to be, that's when we try to do the budget. And that's why we wait for the audit, so that we know clearly what our beginning fund balances are in each of the funds. So we use that information to address the budget, so that you guys, as council members, know exactly where the general fund's at this time. And I will admit, I think everybody on council before me, I'm a conservative person. So, you may have some savings of $20,000, $30,000 here, in a $3 million budget, but I'm not going to account for that yet. I'd like to have a couple more months under the belt to see how that's going to react. And those are the budget amendments I kind of wait for towards as they get closer to the fiscal year end, which is June 30th.
And Mr. Chairman, these are kind of like, we're projecting where they're budgeting, and we're projecting that there's going to be some overages.
Okay. Okay, so there's several departments here. I saw bonuses. What are, like bonus, like I saw it throughout here. What are those? Do you give bonuses, or what happens with bonuses?
So the term bonus can mean a couple of things, but what you're seeing here is the one-time pays or the annual pays that were approved with new contracts. Off the top of my head, there was a couple of contracts that were passed with signing bonuses. Those would be implemented to those accounts. There's an annual stipend that was included in the 1917 contract. That's considered a bonus. Again, may not be the right word. A stipend is the best word, but for accounting purposes, we call it a bonus account.